me to tell you, my name is Idris Miliki Abdul, the Executive Director of Conscience for Human Rights and Conflict Resolution. June 12th is significant. June 12th is something we can never forget in our life. June 12th is very symbolic to democracy. June 12th is something that Nigerians should have been proud of. But unfortunately, it's about records. It's about history. It's about the people of Nigeria and what we stand for. And some of us who are lucky, who have reached the age of voting, I voted in 44 Barrack in Kaduna on that June 12th. I was also a victim of June 12th because while we are fighting that June 12th should be a realistic one and the winner should be inaugurated, and we had a handbill as civil society. A military man arrested me in Kaduna. I have to go and provide free food for mosquito in the cell for some few days. So I have been part one way or the other with June 12. And I think it's something that's remarkable, very unique that the federal government, in their wisdom, people might not take it very seriously, that they have declared June 12 as a democracy day. Because what we witnessed on that June 12, where people queue and to vote for candidates of their choice, we voted beyond ethnicity. We voted beyond religion. We voted because we have seen somebody we think has value. And somebody who's, you also remember the fact that part of what made the man who won June 12, which was Abdul, was also a man who have built people, a man who have done a lot of investment. And people felt that if this person who have done so much investment across Nigeria, who have also assisted a lot of persons, if he becomes president, definitely it's not somebody coming to power because he needed 1 million naira to feed. And it's also a man whose background was poverty. I remember he ever said that he took tea. In the first time he drank tea was when he was visiting his first wife. So it's a man who has taught poverty, and now later he conquered poverty. So he knows how bad poverty is and was willing to say, okay, look, we will look at Nigeria in salvaging the nation from the poverty aspect. And I think to me, for the federal government who now pick June 12 as a date for us to evaluate, as a day for us to also look at our elections. The election we have had since that June 12 has it been reflective of what happened during that particular period. It's something that is very challenging. The reorganization that have taken place electoral-wise is as a result of what took place in June 12. And I think to me that is what people need to know. We have been there, we have seen it, we have seen the military who have bastardized democracy in Nigeria. And then people were killed. A lot of our communists were killed. A lot of our people were locked up. And they were jailed. And I think to me, even the current president himself was also a victim of June 12. And today is the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So I think it's important that we continue to reflect every year and to see areas to improve on our democracy and particularly on election. I think we want to congratulate Nigeria and all the Democrats.
Sir, 25 years of unbroken democracy. How well? How good? How nice?
I think it is well. Well in the fact that, and in the sense that, the democracy have given us opportunity to choose our leaders. We might not have been where we want to be. We have had a situation where incumbent have been defeated because there was elections. We have had that no matter how good or bad you are, at the end of your tenure of 4 years, you either seek re-election or you go away. And if people refuse to vote for you, you go. No matter how good or bad you are, at the end of 8 years, you must leave. So it is not something that like a military who keeps shifting the pole. Even when we want to play penalty, they will shift the pole again. But in the democratic dispensations, elections are conducted. We have also found out that we can go to court, and we have seen several court pronouncements. Whether we are satisfied with those pronouncements or not, I think to me the significance is the fact that the freedom of speech that we enjoy today is a sort of democracy and in the state or civil rule. Let me tell you what happened recently, if I had to be done in the military, where the labor movement went and shut down the national grid. What would the military say? They'll just clamp them down and throw them in prison. And that's not anybody could do than to make noise. But they went, despite it was against the generality of Nigeria, we all kept quiet to see that, oh, you have a right to protest. So democracy have allowed us to air our opinion, rightly or wrongly. Democracy have also encouraged freedom of association, freedom of choice. You can vote for a person that you think you believe in. And for the part that we have party politics, we have seen when we started 25 years ago, how many parties do we have? And today, how many parties do we have? We have seen realignment, we have seen mergers. And I think to me, that is the hallmark and the gain of democracy. And all of us must continue to work for the survival of democracy in Nigeria, because we have no option. If you want to contest election, go there and join a party. We need to look at every 4 years, where do we need to improve? Before 25 years ago, we don't have card reader. Today we have card reader. Electronic voting will also come in as time as we go on. There are so many improvements that we have had on our election to be able to consolidate democracy in Nigeria. And I want to congratulate the entire Nigeria for working for democracy, for sacrificing for democracy. Even some of those military that survived June 12 were also beneficiaries of democracy. And I think that is the uniqueness of it. You are in the military, somebody won the election, you threw it away. But you later came back to contest for election and find yourself making laws. I think to me that is very interesting aspect of the whole thing. You now become a lawmaker in the democratic dispensation. Meanwhile, you subvert democracy, you throw away the will of the people through democratic means, which is an election. I think to me that is the hallmark of what we have achieved, and I think it's very unique.
So in some quarters, some people are clamoring for a return of the military because of the actors in politics.
You see, it's hatred and ignorance. You can, if you have been a victim of military rule, which the nation, all of us were victim, one way or the other. Somebody said that even the worst civilian government is better, because than the best military regime. You might think that democracy is slow. You see, people are saying so many things because they might hate you. When you are tall, people say you are too tall because they don't like you. When you are too short, they say you are too short. And here you cannot help yourself. That's what God has given us. I don't think people have the right to open their mouth anyhow. It is not possible, because even those who are supposed to say so, if a military take over today, Nigeria will be on the street. We are not like places like other West African countries. You see, we are all going to be victims. What we need to do is to say, okay, look, if after 4 years, the person we have elected, whether that person is a governor, sorry, a parliamentarian, have not performed well, let the people determine it. Let the people go and vote that kind of person out of office. And we cannot move on. You cannot go back to military regime, military dictatorship. It's condemnable for those who are saying it. But as like we said, we are in a freedom of speech. People can air their opinion, whether rightly or wrongly. But the important thing is that Nigeria will never, by the grace of God, go back to military regime as far as we are concerned.
So what advice do you have for the political gladiators? Because the way this country is being ruled, people are
you see, I think I have 1-2 adage. You don't marry in one day and your wife will bear children. You don't plant a tree in one day and it will bear fruit. We are still moving on. It is not as bad as we take it. But you see, in politics, when you want to take over power from me or you don't like me, you never say anything good. That's why they say love is blind. For those who are benefiting directly or indirectly, they will tell you what we are having is the best for them, because everybody has his or her time. Those who benefited in the last regime now, they are not benefiting now. They will tell you. And democracy, like I said, is slow. And I think what we need to do is to collectively join hands to move Nigeria forward. It's not whether you like the person that is there or it's your country. When a particular person constructs road, we are clamoring for good governance. We are not where we are supposed to be. We are not happy. We are all hungry, like they said. But one thing you should know is the fact that everybody has increased his or her own price too. We are operating a capitalist economy where people provide services. Even bride prices have been increased. So it's not about goods and services alone. So there are so many things. People are making more money. Money are coming to the state. The important thing is the fact that the 3 tiers of government must function. And I think I want to commend the president for going to court to seek for court redress. We are part of the struggle to make sure that local government autonomy is there. But the state governors are the problem of Nigeria. Why is it that, do we have a caretaker governor? Do we have caretaker National Assembly member? Do we have caretaker state assembly member? But you sit down there as a governor. You must room local government, their resources. You put caretakership there. It's fraudulent. It is criminal. It is condemnable. And you see what we need to look at section 7.1. That say clearly, local governments have been democratically put in place. But here you show to an office, to uphold the constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Meanwhile, you go there to subvert local government election. You wait for 3 years and close your eyes. You refuse to conduct local government election. What kind of system are we running? If the federal government refuse to conduct election to governorship office, all the governors will be on the street. I say that no, this is what the law say. Is that not the same law that said that there shall be democratically elected local government council? I think so. What we are saying is the fact that the politician must play according to the rule, while the citizen must also be ready to be informed. A lot of Nigerians don't care. You see a professor, a PhD holder that don't even have a permanent voter's card. How do you want to contribute to your quota? You see the politician, look at the quality and caliber of people who are members of political parties, particularly at state level. Look at the way they conduct their primary. Look at the bogus amount of money they impose on people who are contesting the election. And then look at the amount of money people spend in other, look at it, you can use people like Obama as an example, where people contributed $50, $100. He was not from a rich background. But today, people get there because they think they have money. And that is why when they get there, they are asking for 160 million car. So that they will say they want to recoup their money. I think to me, fundamentally, we still need to reorganize our electoral reform. The process at which political parties are registered, incorporated, and the caliber of people who are there. There is no internal democracy in political parties, and there is no report. Go to any political party offices at state level here today. You cannot even find their constitution. A lot of political parties don't even have offices. They don't even have members. That is the issue. You go to on election day. How many of them have a genuine party register? How many of them have party members? At the polling unit where electoral act say clearly, you must submit the list of your party agent. Go to several. We have how many political parties today? Not less than 18. But you get to polling unit, you will see about 15% contesting election. Only 4 parties will have party agent. From EC8, which is given at the polling unit, is what INEC is going to put on their IREC. So if you have your party agent, if the law allowed the INEC to give result of election at the polling unit to the party agent and the security people. So even if we take INEC for instance 1 or 2 weeks to upload the result, where is the result that you have in your hand? But where you don't have, INEC said a particular presidential candidate in the 2023 year election does not have party agent in 23,000 polling units. So what report will you give into that particular one? Secondly, we also need to introduce some level of mediation and ADR. I also want to talk to our judiciary, particularly the lawyers, who sometimes deceive the politicians that we always have where to go. Well, we can do this, and they will come to court and be on technicality and using the media. Why don't you educate your candidate? Why don't you educate your client even before the elections? And you can assemble genuine document. At the end of the day, the Nigerian who didn't know about electoral act. How many Nigerians today have a copy of electoral act? How many Nigerians today have a copy of the constitution? You must be a lawyer before you get all those things, so that you can be an informed person. Then political parties need to educate and inform their followers, their supporters, their members, so that we have a peaceful election. And I think to me that is where we need, all those are the reforms that are necessary. We have the laws there, but what about the operation of the law? And democracy is too expensive in Nigeria. We need to start looking at covering it down. But when somebody goes, I have a brother that contests election, and at the end of the day, he spent up to 100 million to get to the House of Rep. And then, or somebody contesting governor, I have to give 2.5 million during primary. What do you do with all those money? And then when the person gets there, he wants to recoup the money. So they have turned our democracy and election to business. You sell your house, you sell your car to buy arms, to make sure the fact that you pay tax to come and to do. We need to improve on election. Let's look at what is happening in South Africa. Let's look what is happening in some other African countries recently, where they have a peaceful election, where they can carry INEC material a day or two. Why do you have to go and keep INEC material in CBN a day or two? It's because of the attitude that we are saying. Is it the president that is saying that? Is it the governor or any other person? But you see somebody contest election, party agent who want to commit fraud. In Kogi State here, people invaded in the before the November election last year here, and went to INEC offices and vandalized the place and carried from ECA. Are they going not to commit fraud? Then the police who are supposed to be there. So all of us collectively must be patriotic, must work for the nation, and make sure that we have genuine democracy, we have acceptable electoral process in Nigeria. And I think that if we do it, we are all going to benefit for it. But I condemn in strong time for those who are talking of military. It's not possible. And we will all resist it in Nigeria. Military will never come to Nigeria by the grace of Almighty God. If they come, they will kill all of us. That is the truth.
or we kill all of them.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.